Good day everyone. I am Carlo and I'm here with my group mates. To give you some information about basketball that you may or may not know about. So first off, what is basketball? So basketball by definition is a sport or a game played between two teams of 5 players each on a rectangular court. Each team tries to score by tossing or shooting the ball through the opponent's goal, which is an elevated horizontal hoop and net called a basket. So the icon you see on your lower left is an example of an outline of a full basketball court. Then the icon you see on the right, on the center is an example of a basket or the rim. The icon you see on your lower right is an example of a player shooting a ball or currently in a shooting form. So those 5 players inside the court have their own roles. So the first role, position 1, is the point guard. Position 2, shooting guard. Position 3, small forward. Position 4, power forward. And position 5 is the center. Basketball, as we all know, is played around the world. We have a lot of organizations and associations built since the invention of basketball. But one of the famous associations in basketball is the National Basketball Association, which is a professional basketball league in North America. So NBA is the let's say top tier tournament of basketball. Players around the world, best players around the world goes to North America to play for NBA. So NBA's teams are composed of states or cities in North America like Los Angeles, Miami, New York, etc. Then next famous associations or organization is the Federación Internacional de Basketball. So teams in FIBA is composed of countries of players that represents their countries like Philippines, USA, Spain, and etc. So here in Philippines, we have our own local association, which is the Philippine Basketball Association. So teams in PBA is not composed of cities or states, but it is composed of brands that sponsors a whole team who can compete in a high level basketball game.
History of basketball. So, it was the winter of 1891 to 1892 inside the gymnasium at Springfield College, then known as the International YMCA Training School, located in Springfield, Massachusetts, was a group of restless college students. The young men had to be there. They were required to participate in indoor activities to burn off the energy that had been building up since their football season ended. The gymnasium class offered them activities such as marching, calisthenics, and apparatus work, but these were pale substitute for the more exciting games of football and lacrosse they played in warmer seasons. So Garik had stressed the need for a new indoor game, one that would be interesting, easy to learn, and easy to play in the winter and by artificial light. No one in the class had followed up on Galik's challenge to invent such a game. But now, faced with the end of fall sports season and students dreading the mandatory and required gymnasium work, Naismith had a new motivation. Galik then charged Naismith. He said, "I want you to take the class and see what you can do with it." So, Naismith went to work. His charge was to create a game that was easy to assimilate, yet complex enough to be interesting. It had to be playable indoors or on any kind of ground, and by large number of players all at once. It should provide plenty of exercise, yet without the roughness of football, soccer, or rugby, since those would threaten bruises and broken bones if played in a confined space. Much time and thought went into this new creation. Naismith approached the school janitor, hoping he could find 2 18-inch square boxes to use as goals. The janitor came back with 2 pitch baskets instead. Naismith then nailed them to the lower rail of the gymnasium balcony, one at each end. The height of that lower balcony rail happened to be 10 feet. A man was stationed at each of the balcony to pick the ball from the basket and put it back into play. It wasn't until a few years later that the bottoms of those pitch baskets were cut to let the ball fall loose. A short time later, the gym class met, and the teams were chosen with 3 centers, 3 forwards, and 3 guards per side. 2 of the centers met at midcourt. Naismith then tossed the ball, and that is how the game of basketball was born.
Basketball terminologies. So in order to contribute to basketball conversations, you'll need to learn the language. I will show you the list of the most common basketball terms and phrases alongside their definitions. So the first one is assist. Assist is a pass directly leading to make a basket. Then pass, it means to throw the ball to other teammates. Receiver is the player who receives a pass from the ball handler. A shooter is a player who takes a shot at the basket in attempts to score. Then block. Block means touching a ball before it reaches the hoop, preventing a made basket. The next is dribbling. Dribbling is bouncing the ball off the floor repeatedly without picking it up. Then foul. Foul is the actions by players which break the rules, but they are not floor violations. They are penalized by change in possession or free throw opportunities. Next is shot. Shot is an attempt to throw the ball into the hoop or into the basket. Then rebound. Rebound is to gather the ball after a missed shot. Then next is offense, the team in possession of the ball, and the defense is a team without the possession of the ball. Then lastly is the referee. The referee is the person that is assigned to the game to maintain the flow and integrity of the game. So that's all of the terminologies.
Basketball facilities and equipments. The first would be the basketball court. Basketball courts come in different sizes, and in amateur basketball, court sizes vary wildly. You can see here in the diagram the free throw lane, 3-point line, side lanes and baseline, center jump circle, and the division line. The free throw lane is the team's front court and used to line up players during a free throw. The 3-point lane is that semicircle that surrounds the basket area on each team side of the court. The side lanes are the outside boundaries. Center jump circle is that circle in the middle where the action game happens. Division line is the line running the width of the middle court that divides it into equal sections, also known as the half-court line. The next equipment would be the basketball rim. Basketball rims or hoops are orange painted goals attached to the backboard and used for scoring points in a game. They are designed as a breakaway rims comprised of a hinge and spring that allows the rim to bend and when the player dunks without shattering the backboard. Next would be the basketball ball. This is the most important equipment where happens the dribbling, passing, and shooting process happens. The ball must be very durable and easy to hold on to. Next equipment would be the basketball scoreboard. This displays the time left in the period and the both teams scores, and it also shows the number of fouls. The next is the shot clock. Sets the timer for how long a team has possession on a ball before shooting. It is usually located at the top of the backboard. The last would be the basketball uniform. It is a type of uniform worn by the basketball players. This consists of jersey that features the number and the last name of the player on the back, as well as the shorts and athletic shoes. Some precautions should be taken seriously in the sports, which is why protective equipments are a must to reduce physical injuries.
Hello everyone, I'm Dana Grace Fulla and I'm going to present the rules and regulations you need to know in playing basketball. So let's start. So the game shall consist of 4 quarters of 10 minutes in FIBA or 12 minutes in NBA. Then basketball is played by 2 teams of 5 players in each team, and the first quarter begins when the ball leaves the hand of the crew chief or the referee on the toss for the jump ball in the center circle, which is located in the center of the court. Then a goal is credited to the team attacking the opponent's basket into which the ball has entered. So the points given are depending where the ball was released. So if a goal released from a free throw counts as 1 point, a goal released from the 2-point field goal counts as 2 points, then in the 3-point field goal counts as 3 points, and if the ball touched the rim on the last free throw and is legally touched by any player before it enters the basket, counts as 2 points. So if the goal is tied at the end of the 4th quarter, the game shall continue with many overtime of 5 minutes duration to break the tie, to determine also who is the winner with the most earned points. So time out may be may be granted during the timeout opportunity. Each timeout shall only last for only 1 minute, and a team may substitute a players during a substitution opportunity only. And for each successful basket, the ball is then turned over to the opposition or the opposite team. Then, the ball can only be moved either by dribbling or passing the ball. No player can touch the ball while it is traveling downwards the basket, or if it is on the rim. So, this is a violation called goaltending, and each team has 24 seconds to at least shot the ball to the basket, and the ball must stay within the boundary of the court. And then, the player must bounce or dribble the ball with one hand while moving both feet. If at any time both hands touch the ball or the player stops dribbling, the player must only move one foot. Then, the basketball player can only take one turn at dribbling. In other words, once the player has stopped dribbling, they cannot start another dribble. Then, the player's hand must be on top of the ball while dribbling. And once the offensive team crosses half court, they may not go back into the court. So, this is only some of the rules and regulations you need to know in playing basketball. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Timothy Jhon Bautista, and here I'm going to demonstrate to you the basic types of dribble. So first is we have the low dribble. The next is the middle dribble. And then the high dribble. And the next is the crossover dribble. And then the over the legs dribble. And then lastly, the behind the back dribble.
My topic is shooting. Fundamentals in shooting. To shoot accurately, first, you need square your shoulder to the basket like this. Then place your feet shoulder length apart. Then with your knees, bend slightly. And fourth, put the finger of your shooting hand or dominant hand under the ball. And flick your wrist towards the hoop to release the shot like this. Commonly used types of shooting in basketball. First, jump shot. Apply fundamental in shoot. Place your knees shoulder length apart and bend knees slightly. Make a fluid and explode upward leap like this. And second is hook shot. Jump with your left foot pushing up the ground. Shooting arm should be bent, thrust upward, and flick the wrist like this. And third is bank shoot. Imagine ring and board. Aim slightly higher by shooting for the backboard like this. Fourth is free throw. Your elbow on your dominant hand make an L under the ball with fingers spread out for the backspin like this. 5 is layup. Dribble the ball towards the basket like this. Push your left hand like this. Lastly is slam dunk. Jump explosively to get as high as possible and leap towards the hoop.
Today I'm going to do the passing. First, the chest pass. Second, the bounce pass. And then third, over the head pass. And then the fourth, behind the back pass.
Number one, you gotta stay low. You're gonna squat like this so that you can reach the opponent like that. The next, stay below their heads. So if you're guarding someone, then stay below their heads like this. If they're this tall like this, at this height, then you should be like this low. The next is hands at shoulders. So you gotta stay low like this, then hands on shoulder like this. So if you're guarding someone, then you can reach like this. You're shooting like that, and then low inside this. Next is apply pressure so that you can lower the time of your opponent. The next is stay your hand above the ball. If you're guarding like this, then it should be like the ball is like this, then above it all the time. Next is dictate their moves. They're going to the side. If you think they're going to the side, then go there so you can predict their moves. That's all that.
So ano nga ba ang rebounding sa basketball? So ang pag-rebound ng bola ay napakahalaga kasi makokontrol nyo yung laro. So paano nasabing makokontrol yung laro? Kasi kapag nag-miss yung bola, so merong chance yung magkabilang kupunan na kuhanin yung bola. So kung lagi nyo nakukuha yung bola, o sa ibang word is nare-rebound nyo yung bola, so mas mataas yung chance na mas marami kayong mai-score kumpara sa kalaban. So yun yung meaning. Tapos after netong i-demonstrate ko sa inyo kung paano nga ba ang tamang pag-rebound. So kasama na rin yung box out. So malalaman nyo kung ano yung box out dun sa video na yun. Ay, i-demonstrate ko sa inyo kung paano mag-box out tsaka mag-rebound, secure ng bola. Kaya yung tatlong yan, tandaan yan. So bale, una, punta ka sa kalaban. Ano ka? Abang! So ganun ka. So, secure ng bola. Panoodin nyo yung video. So yun lang yung tatandaan nyo. Dapat marunong kayong mag-rebound, mag-box out, tsaka mag-secure ng bola after nyo i-rebound. So yun lang.